Welcome back to Follow the Money. Congress writes a lot of laws against insider trading, so you think they'd have to follow them themselves, wouldn't you? Peter Schweitzer's back with us, and his new book is called Throw Them All Out. It rips the lid off rampant insider trading on Capitol Hill. But, Peter, insider trading seems to be A-OK for them to do it, but if we do it, we go to jail.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, if you work for a corporation and you have non-public information and you make stock trades based on that, you're going to go to jail if you're caught. If you're a member of Congress and there's a pattern of trading, you're introducing legislation and buying and selling stock in that area, or you get a briefing from a bureaucrat, it's okay to trade on.
It's twofold. I'm a trader. I'm 20 years trading. I know exactly what goes on. This is if I were to do it, it's completely illegal. But there's two things here. Not only are they trading on insider information, information that the public doesn't have, they may also be legislating on it and changing the rules to benefit their investment, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're doing that, and they're also, by the way, sharing this information. You know, if you've got a big contributor or donor, you can call and give them a tip on what might happen to asbestos, what might happen in healthcare, and that's hugely valuable. Political intelligence is a big area for lobbyists now. Hedge funds will pay them, in some cases, $50,000 a month, not to change legislation, just tell us what's coming down the pike, and we're going to trade accordingly.
All those conspiracy theorists out there who say, you know, it's rigged, it's a rigged game against you, you're probably right. Peter, weigh in on this. Back when the world was falling apart on Wall Street a couple of years ago, the Treasury Department got together with some banking leaders, and they met behind closed door. Hank Paulson was the Treasury Secretary at the time. Upon leaving that meeting with some high-level congressional leaders, they made trades based on what they heard in that meeting, right?
They did. If you look at Hank Paulson's memoir, he talks and describes very explicitly what they said. It was an apocalyptic briefing. They were saying the market may go down 25%. We may have unemployment at 10%. Literally the next day, you had one congressman who sold 90 different stocks.
You said it right the first time, my friend. Stole. No, go ahead. You're right.
And you actually had members of Congress of the House Financial Services Committee who actually bought ProShares Ultra Short, which is a leveraged fund.
It's a bet on the economy going down, a bet on the financial sector going down. Very importantly, Hank Paulson came from where?
Came from Wall Street.
Came from specifically Goldman Sachs, right?
Right.
If he picks up a phone and talks to one of his friends at Goldman, is that illegal?
It is. It is. The executive branch is covered by this. The legislative branch is not. So a congressman could call up a friend at Goldman or could call up a hedge fund manager that contributes to him. That would be okay. Or a congressional staffer could trade on this information or share it with somebody.
All right. Now, lots being said. Let's break this Pelosi thing down because you really need to know exactly what happened here. Nancy Pelosi. Her family or investment trust, is it a trust?
No, it's not.
It's not even a trust, which means she bought stock in an IPO, Visa. When Visa went public, the company Visa, the charge card company, she buys stock in it knowing that she's going to legislate on a law that will affect whether or not Visa is more profitable or not.
That's exactly right. They were given access to sort of friends and family IPO shares in Visa stock. They were able to buy 5,000 shares at $44 apiece. The next day, it was trading at $66 a share.
She makes 50% overnight.
Yeah, she makes over $100,000 overnight.
There's a risk here that she could legislate against Visa charging extra and being more profitable. So if she does that, Visa would be less profitable, maybe hurting her shares. But what happens?
What happens is that Visa was most concerned with credit card reform on the merchant fee, the 3% that merchants pay when they use a Visa card. None of that was touched in the credit card reform legislation. There were two bills that had come out of committee that year and the following year that dealt with this.
Did they make it to the House floor?
Never.
And she was leader of the House at
That's
the time.
right. Never allowed a vote.
These things could have dealt with the issue, which is charging the customer more.
Right.
Thereby, Visa's profits would be less if that passes through. She says, no way, guys. I'm not bringing it to the House floor. It doesn't even come up for a vote. Meanwhile, Visa stock goes from 44 IPO.
It's $90 a share now.
$90 a share.
That's right. And this is the thing. She's participated in 10 IPOs. And think about this for a second. If you're Senator Eric Bolling, which, hey, may be a great idea, if I give you $10,000 cash and we are discovered, we're both going to jail. That's a bribe. But if I give you, Senator, access to IPO shares that are going to net you 10 times that amount, that's completely legal. That's legal graft.
It's legal, but not right. Is there any push in D.C. to change the rules?
There is. There's something called the Stock Act. It's been now introduced in the Senate and in the House as a result of my book and the 60 Minutes episode. And there are going to be hearings on both the House and Senate side on congressional insider trading.
Hey, Peter, it goes both sides of the aisle, though, right?
Yes, it does. does.
also, too.
Yes, it does.
All right, the book is Throw Them Out. Peter Schweitzer, fascinating stuff. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.